Guys, today we have got an unconventional or one of the not so regular topics that we do talk about on this channel. And it's a very sad and unsettling situation that we're going to talk about today, where we are talking about a woman that's been a 61-year-old woman who has been, it's alleged that this woman has been writing or taking exams on behalf of people writing the Life in the UK test. For those of you that do not know about this test, this is a test that is written or that is taken when one is wanting to apply for either their indefinite leave to remain in this country or for their citizenship. So it's actually a requirement for when you go and apply. So it is alleged, and this is in the papers, and as you can see, so it is alleged that this woman has been taking this test on behalf of other applicants who is not her, and this has happened in a period of extending to about a year. And it is alleged that also this woman has taken this test for about 14 people. Guys, this is appalling. This is shocking. If this is true, guys, this is disgraceful on her part and disgraceful on the part of those wanting to obtain British citizenship or British indefinite leave to remain under fraudulent or under unorthodox ways. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to go about it. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I'm an immigrant, and at some point I am one of those people who have to undertake that test. And under whatever circumstances has it ever crossed my mind that I would want to obtain any qualification or to obtain any legalization or stay in a country fraudulently. Guys, a big welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Florence, for those of you who do not know me. And on this channel, we do talk about life in the diaspora, life abroad, struggles, success, opportunities, everything we do talk about here. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please be kind enough to do so. And also do hit the notification bell so that when we do put out videos, you're one of the first people to actually see those videos and benefit from a wealth of information and value that we do share on this platform. So guys, let's just get straight into it. So this is shocking, guys. And this woman, 61-year-old, to be honestly, you're at that age where you should be looking at retirement and things like that, and then you're found doing such things. What sort of an exam, besides all the implications legally and everything else, stay-wise, but how do you feel as a woman, as a human being? Where does that place you? But how do you want your family, friends, and everyone else around you to view you? And of course, when I was reading in there's so many articles that I've actually written about it, the only reason why she was doing it was for financial reasons. No wonder why I'm always talking on my platform. I'm always encouraging fellow migrants, fellow followers and subscribers here to say you need to plan your life ahead. You need to plan your life properly. You need to be doing things right. And these are some of these values that I always say we should be talking about it as a community. We should be encouraging each other. I know we come from different backgrounds whatsoever, and I know a lot, but when you come to countries like this one, when you come to people's communities, you got to live by their standards. You got to follow the rules of the land. I'll speak briefly on indefinite leave to remain, citizenship, and things like that. Part and parcel of the things that they do look at is how you have been living within the community, probably for the past 5 years, for the past 10 years. They do go and look into those things. And you would have lived your whole life really living by the book. What does it take for you to go and undertake a 24-question test? Because that's all it takes. And I mean, this is a test that you can write whenever. It doesn't have an expiry date. It doesn't have a timeline for when you can write it. So you can actually prepare well in advance. I'm in my 3rd year in this country. I could start writing now, start to see if I'm going to pass it or not. So you've got ample time. And it's not like it's so expensive. Right now, as of today, when I was preparing for this video, it costs £50 for you to go and sit for that test. So you can actually sit for this test this year or this month. And then if you don't make it, plan to retake it again 6 months down the line. But for 14 people, that's a big number to actually be paying somebody to take that test on their behalf. This is not something that you expect from some. It leaves you thinking, what else really, or what other qualifications have these people been obtaining fraudulently? And obviously, I know if you're watching, you want to know the consequences. Definitely, there will be consequences for those 14 people. And I mean, I was reading this article that this woman was using wigs to disguise, and she would go to different centers every time she would write these exams for people. She was actually doctoring identification cards to suit whatever clientele they would be representing. And she would write for both men and women. You can imagine. So this was a well-thought syndicate, a well-thought fraudulent activity. I've got no words for this woman. I've got no words for people who do things that are not legal. Because what they do, these people, is they make things harder for the next generation, for the next person who want to write the same test or undertake the same test. And it just makes every one of you migrants differently. So that's why this really does not sit well with me. And I mean, coming to those people who really engage in those activities, and guys, we are talking about it because it's to prepare us, it's to bring things into perspective, to get certain conversations going in our communities to say, what's not right is not right. And let that person who will be found wanting not be you if you're watching this video. I know we come from different backgrounds. I know we've got different influences where we come from, but at least just try and do things the right way. Because when the long arm of the law catches up with you, you will regret all the effort, all the plans that you've had, because definitely you will be prosecuted, you'll go to jail, you get deported. And so what have you done? You can imagine, I'm always saying the reason why we relocated as a family was to give a life for our children. But you do one silly thing, you do one illegal thing, you mess that life up for everyone. So I'm just encouraging people, as we do what we do in our workplaces, the encouragement is do things by the book. Where you don't know, ask. There's always somebody ready to show you how it's done. There's always somebody wanting to show you how to do it. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, like I always say. You don't have to go through it alone. You don't have to end up doing something that you'll not be proud of. So it is what it is. And this is happening. I know I read sometime last year, there was an article again about how people a certain group of people were fraudulently acquiring their IELTS, whereby again people are getting their IELTS test written for them by other people who is not them. It may take long before you get caught, but eventually there's nothing that stays hidden forever. There's nothing that stays hidden forever. And the consequences are they're dire. It's something that you regret for the rest of your life. When we want to look at it, how much money was she getting? How much money was she getting paid? Obviously, and also we're going to look at the 14 people who actually were promoting this, were giving the business to her. Now they've risked everything. They've risked deportation. They've risked going to jail, being prosecuted, and never having to go and live anywhere else. Because when you get deported, you get banned for a very long time. And it's very difficult for you to relocate to any other country other than your home country. You mess up your whole life. Just over £50 that you could have actually paid and written the exam. Probably what that meant was just a few nights of you studying, a few weeks of you studying, and then you do your things right. So guys, if you're watching this video, one of the things that we are encouraging each other, we do encourage each other on this platform, is you got to do what you got to do. And you got to do what you need to do legally, morally, and if it's in the workplace, please do follow procedures. Whatever that you need to do, whatever that we do read about these things every time and again, and it's so heartbreaking. No wonder why it's something that we need to be reminding each other often. We need to be reminding each other of some of these things, encouraging each other to just live morally, live by the book. This is other people's country, so you got to follow the rules of the land. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. We shouldn't even be having this conversation if only people understood what they need to do and how they need to do it. So guys, the word that I'm leaving with you today is the fact that it doesn't take much for you. I know this happens a lot. I know we do read a lot about how there are certain exams that you take in this country. It could be your driver's license. Do it and do it properly. Acquire your driver's license properly, the right way. and do follow the rules and the regulations, because it's a simple thing. It takes a few hours of you studying and then you get it right. The same thing, we talk about IELTS, we talk about the English test. Just study for it and write it and you get your things right. Third thing we're talking about, life in the UK test. Just get it right. Just study for it and get it right. If the next person studied for it, nobody was born in this country if you're an immigrant. So if everyone else is writing that test, so can you, with all the resources that there is. Half the time I do try to think, how were people writing these tests before the internet and everything? They must have been going to libraries and having to go through books and books of history and things like that. But now we thank God for the internet. We thank God for social media and platforms like YouTube and everywhere else. And guys, I do promise you, when I do go and write my life in the UK test, I will definitely share with you my experiences, how I'm preparing and how everything is panning out. But then this is not just limited to this test in particular. This goes a long way. I know we are ambitious people, we are passionate about growth and career progression, and we are studying, we are enrolling in courses and things like that. When you go there, just do the right thing. Make sure it's you studying, make sure it's you doing those assignments, make sure it's you putting in the work. Because trust me, when you do shortcuts, when you do things fraudulently, the long arm of the law will catch up with you. And when it does, it's not nice. When it does, you will not be proud of it. And it takes just one silly mistake and you will be the example. So it's just my encouragement today, family and friends here, to say we need to do what we need to do. We need to do it legally. We need to do it properly. We need to live by the rules of the land. And trust me, we will prosper and be successful. Guys, that's all I had for you in this video. And I will see you in our future videos. And I do wish you well. So if you haven't subscribed until now, please do so. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.